last year, 5 students from Palo Alto and Gunn High School decided that they just couldn't keep up, that they weren't smart enough, that they didn't have a future, decided that they couldn't continue with the unreasonably lofty expectations, with the seemingly unconquerable amount of homework, projects, and extracurricular activities, decided that they didn't want to continue with the conflict between health and achievement. This seemingly endless, sleep depriving, soul crushing cycle that we all know just too well proved to be too much to handle and all stopped when each of them stood in front of a speeding Caltrain. We all know what the stress is like. Just by being in this class, we have distinguished ourselves as those who strive to achieve. We as high school students experience far too much stress and anxiety brought up by school and related activities. These five are not alone in feeling the effects of school stress. The 2014 Stress in America survey found 31% of teens felt overwhelmed by school, 30% reported feelings of intense depression or anxiety, and 36% said that school-related stress had a negative effect on their health. Research by the National Sleep Foundation found that teens aged 14 to 19 needed on average 9 hours of sleep to be considered healthy, but only 15% achieved that. This, those seeking status as high achievers in today's schools are not allowed such luxuries. So in reality, it's not just the 36% of students whose health is at risk because of school, but 85%. If so many students are so detrimentally affected, it is clear that our method of high school education and college preparation is deeply flawed. Since the late 1980s, high school counselors have reported a continual increase in the number of students experiencing school-related stress. They attribute it to the increasing and ever-harshening demands of college admissions, with its demands of nothing less than excellence in performance in AP tests, standardized tests, GPA, and extracurricular activities. A 2014 article by New York University observed students often feel caught in a cycle of escalating demands and expectations largely out of their control and driven by greater societal factors. Aside from colleges setting these unreasonably high standards in standardized tests and GPA, these factors include the American method of education. This is to say the broad, sweeping approach to education, known to many as the liberal arts approach. As opposed to a high school education highlighting and focusing on a student's area of interest, America's education system holds all subjects in the same level of importance for every student. Now, most of us can appreciate the value of such a liberal arts approach to create well-rounded and open-minded individuals. However, the current perceived requirement, largely enforced by college, that all courses be AP or honors puts too heavy a burden and workload on the student. We all know students on our campus whose schedule is full of APs, and those are often the ones participating in the most after-school activities. So these students spend inordinate amounts of time on subjects they do not wish to pursue, spreading themselves too thin over too many subjects, only adding to the requirement of homework and stress. The implementation of two key solutions could fix these problems and greatly alleviate stress from students. The first is a transition from the liberal arts approach to a more focused Scandinavian-style high school education, or at least to center our current broad curriculum on a student's particular field of interest. This would mean students pick a subject or general direction of study and take classes geared towards that. An excellent start to this is the the major minor program here at Valley, which allows students to be a conservatory, AMSI, or theater major or minor. This type of system has proven to be hugely effective not only in preparing students for college but also in the workforce, but also in in promoting happiness and well-being in students, as Scandinavian young adults are among the happiest in the world. In addition, colleges could focus their admissions assessments less on metrics like SAT and ACT, which in fact have a low correlation between score and college success. Instead, they could focus more on personal development, personal projects, and classes focusing on the student's interests. This is one of the most important admission baselines for major colleges like MIT, Caltech, and Stanford, and obviously for prestigious fine arts schools like Juilliard, Yale, and Harvard. While these schools do look for good metrics, final decisions are often based on the applicants demonstrating knowledge, interest, and enthusiasm for a particular field, as well as feedback from teachers and mentors throughout their high school career, claiming for personal growth and maturity throughout high school. So I ask this of you. Tell your counselor, your favorite teacher, or personal mentor when you are stressed. Let them know what you think might help, because in the end, it's not just you. It's those around you, but also those who will come after you and go through the same thing. Those who feel they can't meet the standards those who find it harder to deal with the daily pressure and rigor of all. Let us protect those in despair, like the five from the Palo Alto, who will never get to see that real achievement is so much more than a GPA, an SAT score, or a college admissions letter. Thank you.